Welcome to the Dude Facts Podcast. Four guys united by their love for coffee and corny jokes come together to talk about Christian culture and the ups and downs of ministry. So sit back, relax, grab a cup of joe, and enjoy. The podcast starts now. Affirmative. Hey everybody, welcome to the Dude Facts Podcast. It's so good to have you with us today. Grant has a new microphone, so he's a little giddy.
He's fancy now.
Yeah. My name's Josh, and I'm joined with my friends Ryan, Jeff, and Grant. I'm so glad that you're here for episode number 4. This is our Ode to Pizza episode. Yeah, so you can tell we're all wearing a Hunt Brothers gear. All right. We put the request out for somebody to sponsor us, and they decided not to give us money, but to send us some swag. So, I guess that works.
Helps to help relatives in high places.
That's right.
At least in the pizza world.
I do have a clarifying question. Does them sending us t-shirts mean they completely endorse everything that we've said?
Apparently.
Yes.
Yes.
Everything.
We may get an email this week asking us not to talk about it.
They're going to make us burn our Hunt Brothers shirts.
They said what?
And just throughout the podcast, I actually went and got myself a full-on large Hunt Brothers pizza.
Yeah.
So I'll be smacking on it.
Well, I just got a hunk, because I'm a hunk.
Makes sense.
Who eats a hunk?
Oh yeah, I'm holding a whole pizza.
Is that a real pizza?
Yeah, it is. Trying to be on theme, man.
Did you?
Where's your pizza, Ryan?
I actually ate it. I had a racetrack gas station pizza for lunch. So.
Didn't make it, huh?
Well, and I also brought some beaver nuggets to share. So it goes great with pizza. So if you need any Buc-ee's beaver nuggets, I've got the nugs.
Now, Oregon's the beaver state. I've never seen a nugget on a beaver. I've been to a lot of Oregon State games.
Buc-ee's has taken them all and sold them.
They're a hot commodity. It's hard to find in the wild.
Yeah.
I'm already uncomfortable.
Hunt has already canceled everything.
Yeah. Castrated beaver doesn't sound right.
What exactly is that, Jeff?
A beaver nug? It tastes kind of like a... You ever eat Pop cereal?
Yes.
So without the milk and a little bit bigger, that's what it tastes like.
I think I told somebody one time I described it as like a Cheeto without the cheese and just without cheese powder and just like some sugar melted on the outside.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of, it's a little bit of a harder Cheeto.
Yeah.
Okay. That sounds
without the dust all over your hands.
That sounds pretty good.
And I thought beavers and nuggets were mutually exclusive.
Watch your language in front of the lady, punk!
Good usage.
We've already derailed.
Yeah, I didn't even check the stats from episode 3. I figured it might be a little too depressing.
I think I'm gonna go out there and wager that we had a uptick in our average listen time.
Do you? Should I look that up
at least 30 seconds?
Hey.
11 minutes and 30 seconds?
Hey, man, it depends what 30 seconds.
I think anything over 3.5 minutes, honestly, is...
I'm just happy with the click at this point. Just load the page. You don't have to watch it.
Yeah, as an announcement, you can just turn on our podcast on any of your listening choices and do whatever else you need to. I mean, leave it playing at home. Go to work. Listen to all of them on repeat. It really helps us out. Thank you.
We're begging.
Yeah, we talked about while you're sleeping. While you're sleeping, let us talk to you. Let us soothe you with our voices.
Yo, hey, all right. Average view time, 16 minutes and 49 seconds.
Hey.
We went from 19% up to 24.4. So,
dang.
There's improvement.
Watch out.
Ryan, you're right.
We're almost there.
We're coming. We're going to be right up there under Rogan one of these days.
I think we're already under Rogan.
So,
like,
of course,
we're way under Rogan.
Yeah. So, of course, we're going to talk pizza. Some of you guys left some comments about that. We'll get to that in a little bit because that's such an important thing in each of our lives.
Indeed.
And but our topic, our main topic of discussion a little later on, we're actually going to jump into some discussion about youth ministry. We've all played a role in that in some way, and it shaped our lives. And there's a lot of fun stuff that comes out of youth ministry. So we're just going to talk a little bit about its importance. What role should it play in the church? Maybe some fun stories we've got. So we want to make sure we got plenty of time to get there. Then we do have a special guest coming on with us at some point. He will just jump on. And Jeff, since you're wearing the hat, tell us about the guest we have this week.
So
I can
we talked about how we have this epic group, Facebook group, that's been going for like over a decade. Of us just sharing weird memes and all kinds of funny stuff. Well, there's a fifth member of that group. It's the four of us, and it is my kid brother, Mark, who is going to join us here in a little bit. He is really a pizza expert. He's worked at multiple pizza places. He works at Hunt Brothers. He got us all this cool swag. We did a race together, actually, back in October, a Spartan race, in which we wore the I Run for Pizza, Hunt Brothers. So he's going to come on and maybe talk to us a little bit about pizza and also tell us if there are any new surprises in the Hunt Brothers world. And why gas stations, Why
explain that to me.
Hunt Brothers at gas stations?
Is there Hunt Brothers Pizza in gas stations?
Yes, that's really where
I think it's
you
almost
commonly find
exclusively
it.
where they're at.
Oh. Yeah, I'm out here in Washington. Apparently we have one about 2.5 hours north of me. I've never had it. I've been asked about my shirt. I've been wearing the red pizza shirt this week. I think I wore it once. Well, I guess I wore it once. And I was asked about it several times that day. I said, yeah, it's good pizza. I'm assuming.
I gotta tell you, I'm down in this, and it's for being cooked inside of a Shell gas station. It's pretty delicious.
It's not bad.
Not bad at all.
Huh.
So we'll get to that once he jumps in. But I wanted to bring something up because we talked about the Chinese spy balloon for probably way too long in the last episode. But did you guys hear about the one that was shot down and with two $400,000 missiles, and it ended up being like a $12 kids balloon?
Oh my gosh. Like a birthday party balloon?
Kid's birthday?
I mean, how awesome would that be, though?
My question is, how close was the balloon to the kid's birthday when it was shot down?
Was it like a fighter jet just flying over the kid's birthday as they were riding ponies, and it blew away this balloon that said "Happy 8th birthday" on it?
That's either the most scarring birthday or the most awesome birthday.
Yeah.
But they had to shoot 2 missiles because the first one missed. Where does it go?
Where did the first one
missiles?
It hit the water tower.
They are called missiles, right? Miss. Oh, Coco!
Oh, hello.
Cocorico! Man,
Coco
really going all out. Man. Tad Ketch is going to be jealous, let me tell you. Shout out to Tad as one of our few listeners, by the way.
Hi, Tad.
Loyal listeners.
A very loyal
right.
and a very loyal commenter.
Oh, yes.
Yes, he gave us his pizza takes. He's a Luigi's guy.
That's right.
What was his
I
pizza
like
take?
Luigi's.
Should we talk comments?
Luigi's.
I think before we jump fully into that, because there's so many comments about pizza, and we want to keep our listeners just ready to jump into those.
Ready.
I think we hold on as long as possible. But I think maybe Mark should be on before we try that transition.
Sure.
So although this is pre-recorded, for us, it's happening in real time, and Mark couldn't get here.
He just sent me a text and said he is about to set up. So.
Okay.
All right.
So I think we should wait to do Grant slow jams his jokes.
Oh yeah.
Until Mark gets on as well.
So that's the title for it.
They want to know one of our only non-pizza related comment.
There we go. Let's do that.
With the exception of we had some some people confirming that they're listening on YouTube. Thank you again, Ted. But we also had Amber who gave an insight to us a worship song going back to last week's topic, talking about how said I have an issue singing "Do It Again" by Elevation Worship because of the line that says "You've never failed me yet," as if it's coming. It just hasn't happened yet. Which that is a oddly phrased worship lyric.
Yep.
That makes sense.
I could sing that.
It's redundant.
I could definitely sing that about pizza. It's never failed me yet, but
has it not?
I wish I could say that about pizza, but I'm pretty sure that it's failed me multiple times.
Yeah, I don't think I've met a pizza I don't like.
Yeah, I'm with you, Josh. It really depends on what you deem as failure. Just because it gives me like a really bad bowel movement the next day doesn't mean it's failed me. Because I think I knew what I was getting into when I ate it.
That's right.
That's true.
You
that meant
didn't
failure,
eat it out of ignorance.
Taco Bell would fail me a lot.
Yeah, that's why I don't pray when I eat Taco Bell anymore. I just realized, I'm so selfish to ask for a miracle every time I eat it. Bless this food, Lord. Why?
Well, Jeff, I was looking there's a picture of you and I at CiCi's.
Oh, yes.
Back in the day.
CiCi's, a celebration of food.
Yeah. I know I have it on Facebook somewhere, but
I saw a television ad for CiCi's the other day, and I haven't eaten CiCi's in probably 5 years. I need to hit one back up, get some macaroni pizza.
You remember at one time CiCi's had that sticker outside their door that said it was in the top 10 healthiest restaurants in America?
I think it may still be on there. There was Men's Health top 10 or something like that.
I mean, what else is on that list?
I think that just is a testimony to how unhealthy American food is in general.
Goodness, I've eaten that CiCi's pizza 2 times, and they were both that summer with you guys in 2010.
You're welcome.
Josh and I actually did a podcast at CiCi's back in the day with some of our youth, and I think we were trying to eat a total of 50 slices of pizza, between the two of us. That was easy. We crushed that challenge.
Oh, yeah.
Did you cut their pizzas in eighths?
I'm not really sure. I never really counted, but yeah.
Oh, yeah, they were
decent slices.
Oh, yeah.
I remember so I grew up, I was in Boy Scouts pretty much all of my childhood. And we would do summer camps, and the big thing at summer camp was on the way back from summer camp, we would always stop at a CiCi's because usually we were going, 6-8 hours away for camp for a week in the summer. So on the way back in the town, that was always a big thing. We'd stop at CiCi's. Everybody had been eating camp food all week, so everyone was really excited to eat pizza. And one time, me and several of the other older guys in the troop, we decided to have an eating contest. And we definitely got asked to leave the CiCi's because we were eating so much pizza. So it's
part of all you can eat? I don't understand.
I was like, man, I was just going based on what you advertised.
Yeah. I mean, I take that as a challenge. You say all you can eat. All right. Buckle up, buddy. We're going to go.
Yep.
Jeff, I'm scrolling through all these pictures on Facebook from those days, and there's so many of you and I eating.
Yes.
There's food involved in so many.
That sounds par for the course.
I think
Yeah, I don't
think
know
all
I don't know if I can find this.
not all, but many good things in life are food centric.
That's right.
Oh man, yeah.
I haven't had CC's in a long time. Another place, a Clarksville staple that I have not been back to since I've been here this time is Black Horse. And I know they had a fire and closed down and they reopened.
Mm-hmm.
But Black Horse has got some good pizza.
I had some pizza there a couple weeks ago, and it was delicious.
They were, I think, as far as like a sit down pizza place, that was my favorite.
Yeah.
But something happened a few years ago, and they just really started like shrinking the size.
Yeah, it does seem that way. The pizzas just seem really small.
Yeah, because they're not cheap there, and the larger it was, you're like, okay, well, this is not a terrible deal. But
the biggest one they have now is a 12-inch, and I think they used to offer a bigger size that was the same price that the 12-inch now is. So I think they just like took out that bigger size and increased the price of the 12-inch. But yeah, I've noticed that as well.
The key at Black Horse is to order the beer cheese, and you can get chips or pretzels with those. And then you get the Heart Attack pizza.
Oh, yeah.
And you take the crust and just dip it into the beer cheese.
Oh, yeah.
But you're going to get the garlic crust there.
Yeah, totally. You end up rolling out the door because it's so fattening, but it's awesome.
So Heart Attack is not just the name of the pizza; it is a promise.
Yeah,
That's right.
A side effect. It says that on the menu, right?
Yep. Comes with a warning.
That's right.
Oh, yeah. Do you guys have Mod Pizza out there?
Mod?
Clarksville? Mod, yeah.
I've never heard of that.
My parents have Mod Pizza in Texas.
It is just like Kramer described in Seinfeld. It's a pizza place where you get to make your own pie. It's like Subway. Like they walk you down the row. What sauce do you want? What cheese do you want? What toppings do you want? And then they pop it in the oven for 2 minutes and you get your own pie. So I'm really curious when that migrates your way, what you think of it.
It's pretty much a Papa Murphy's just with an oven.
And you're not doing it.
It's a less lazy Papa Murphy's.
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
It's more lazy.
And they charge you the same amount, but you're doing all the work.
All the work.
Well,
what
not
am
all
I paying
of it.
you
I mean,
for?
They put it together, but
Oh, that's the worst. Yeah, in my town in Washington, Papa Murphy's headquarters is like 2 miles from where I'm sitting. And the two of our stores in this town are corporate stores. So they'll try out different of their planned pizzas there first. And I'm never excited for them because I don't want to ruin it. I could take it home and ruin it. What a waste.
Sure. You know what you should do is take it home and just burn the snot out of that thing and then bring it back and be like, hey, I'm doing it wrong.
you sold me a burnt pizza.
yeah.
And if you do, then make sure that you, record that so we can put it on here. Hey, there's Mark.
Hey,
Mark!
Hey, Mark.
how's it going, guys?
Good, man. It's good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you guys too.
We're talking about pizza.
Oh yeah.
Hey, I just want you to know, man, I went all out.
Hey, there you go.
I didn't go all out. I just got one slice.
Hey, technically a hunk is 2 slices, so there you go.
Oh, okay. That's right.
Oh, just like Jeff.
That's right. Ooh, yeah.
I don't
So
know what that
there's
means.
2
but-
hunks.
These 2 slices, I don't know.
I'm 2 slices of hunk.
So, Mark, tell us what you do, man.
So I work at Hot Brothers Pizza. The actual name is of our part of the company is DBH Distributing. We distribute pizza to our districts, and then our districts take them to the stores. So I do a little bit of supply chain, a little bit of everything. I'm on the admin team, so I do a little bit of everything.
So this is a question that we've all had, and I've probably asked you and Amber this because Mark, my brother, Amber, my sister, both work for Hunt's. Why does Hunt primarily seem to gravitate to like convenience store, like gas station convenience stores? And do they have any standalone shops?
I don't think so. Like, we have some different, like a couple different locations, but it's mostly convenience stores because, what are the areas that probably don't have a chain pizza place like Pizza Hut or Papa John's? It's going to be the more rural areas, but they still have convenience stores. So their goal was to service the people who can't get pizza from other places, so make it more readily available for them. So
pizza for the pizzaless is what you're saying.
Exactly.
How generous.
I like that. Maybe
I'm
that's
glad
getting
that you're down here in Shelbyville or Shebville, as we say. I only had to drive. Seriously, I drove like 7 minutes to get to one. I figure it's kind of like, and it's delicious. I was telling the guys earlier, considering it was cooked inside of a Shell gas station, it's delicious pizza. It's really good. But it's kind of like Dollar General, like wherever those things are placed, that's kind of the areas where you find Hunt Brothers, where there's not things built up for like a Walmart or something like that.
I will say it is very clutch because, so Ryan and I went to a wedding of a friend of ours, actually former youth of mine, good friend of Ryan's, back last April. And for the wedding venue, it was out in the middle of nowhere in Texas. And I'm driving to get to this place, and I hadn't eaten like an idiot. And I'm starving, and there's nothing out there. And then I just see this like old podunk wooden building gas station. And I was like, maybe there's something in there. And luckily, the doorbell didn't ring. Luckily, there was a Hunt Brothers, display in there. And so I was able to get me a hunk and continue on my way. So, yeah, it is pretty clutch.
Nice.
Do you guys have any new flavors or anything that you guys are going to be rolling out? Some cool toppings?
Well, I can say that the buffalo chicken LTO is out right now, which is my personal favorite of our limited time. It always comes out first of the year. We've tried some other things. I know they've ventured out into doing some real interesting stuff. Luckily got to test some of them. I can tell you my favorite was called the Everything Bagel seasoned pizza.
Ooh.
It was basically a chicken Alfredo with some bacon and some Everything Bagel seasoning. It was really good. So
Delish.
That sounds really good.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, I'm hoping they pick that one personally.
So when I ordered this, I actually asked for the buffalo chicken, and the guy just handed me a pepperoni. And I just didn't bother to correct him because I'm not sure he even understood me. I was lucky I even got a piece of pizza.
He's like, this guy won't notice. Look at him. He just wants pizza.
He's like, yeah, buffalo chicken, pepperoni, same thing.
Yeah, similar.
Yeah, that
Mark,
is.
I am really impressed with your beard, though.
Yeah, thank you. I haven't trimmed it up in a little while, so it's getting a little
doesn't need it.
lumberjacky.
Grant, I was totally going to forgive you if that was a pizza delivery guy coming to your door. That would have been awesome.
He had a great beard. That's a mobile windshield replacement service.
Oh,
you tell him I'm recording the podcast, buddy.
Well, here's what happened. Yesterday, I'm driving on the highway. Something flew out of the back of a pickup truck, bounced on the ground, and flew up. And I was wondering why it was getting bigger, and then it hit me. That's a great joke, guys. Come on.
Hey, speaking of jokes, I think the
transition,
the new segment that we had. You like that transition? I think the new segment we had last week of you. I don't know what we want to call it. We still don't have a name for it, but
sensual dad jokes.
That's right. We can go with that.
Wait, so am I a sensual dad telling jokes? Or am I telling jokes about sensual dads?
They just sound sensual.
Yes, that. That's going to completely ruin the mood if that happens.
Let me go grab Kramer.
Tell Kramer to calm it down.
I'm lucky it's not mine. I got home, actually beat Caitlin and my daughter home, and get home to find that Nala has jumped on the kitchen table, and peed on the table runner. So this is
well, at least it was
the third
absorbent.
time. Yeah, that's true. But this is the third time in about a month she's peed on our kitchen table while we were at work. So
Sorry, I took my earphones off. You said Caitlin?
yes.
I'm kidding.
No, our dog, for some reason, every time we put the table runner on the kitchen table, she gets up on the table and pees on the table runner. So,
Oh, man.
Well, you know how they say,
came home to find that today.
Such a good dog.
have you ever heard that when a dog bites, you should maybe bite it back? Have you ever heard that? I've never had that problem, but I've heard that advice given. And I thought, well, what other behavior should we extend that to? If a dog pees on my floor, should I pee on its floor?
The dog sniffs your
Well,
butt.
that's what.
Right? How far does that logic go?
What does she care for as much as we appreciate having a clean kitchen table? That's the real question. Because I don't know, she has a pillow that she mistreats, pulls the stuffing out. So that's her prized possession, I think. But she rips that to shreds. So I don't know if peeing on that would help anything.
That's what she treats what she cares about.
Yeah,
She doesn't care anything about what you care about.
Were you pissed?
a little bit. Yeah, definitely.
Watch your language in front of the lady, punk!
Twice. You got one more strike, Grant.
And we're not even 27 minutes in.
Oh, no.
I mean, we can in post we can add beeps if you want.
Oh, that's right. Maybe we should do that.
Based on our average listen time jump from week to week, I don't think people will make it quite that far. So I think we're good.
Yeah, we're safe.
We'll be close. Are you ready, Grant?
Yeah, but actually, let me ask Mark. I have two jokes prepared. One you may know, but Mark, I want to give you a choice. In honor of pizza, there's a pizza joke, or I have a joke about fishing.
Let's go with pizza. I'm all for pizza jokes.
Okay. It may be familiar, but it's a classic. Okay.
Okay. Is everybody ready?
Yeah.
Okay, let's dim this lighting.
The Dalai Lama walks into a pizza shop and says, "Make me one with everything."
Nice.
Okay, have you heard that one before?
Go ahead, Tom.
I have.
I think you
Well, if
should
he
tell
was
that
at
one to go.
CC's, he could have totally had all of that and more.
He could have had everything.
But they might have kicked him out.
Yeah.
My
No,
favorite
so-
part of that joke was that when you said the Dalai Lama, I was already starting to...
Okay.
I know where this is going.
The best part about that joke is about maybe 10 years ago, a Australian morning show host actually told that joke to the Dalai Lama when he was visiting Australia.
Did he laugh?
No, not at all. He's like, pizza shop? Pizza shop? It's so funny.
What is
I
this pizza?
do not get it.
Oh, it's so funny. Well, there you
So
go.
what are the best pizza shops? I mean, we had some comments, right?
Oh, yeah. Definitely had some good comments. Like you said earlier, Tad is a Luigi's man.
Luigi's is good.
I don't hate on Luigi's. There's one near my house, and they make pretty good
I've
pizza.
never had that.
Yeah, they have a pizza called I think it's called the Texas Giant, It is literally like, it's probably like my wingspan. Like, it is a massive pizza. And
so you can use it as like a blanket if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Just
Probably
pull it over
pretty
you.
warm. Maybe a little
You just
oily,
eat it
but-
as you're warming up. I like that. Luigi's reminds me of Chris's, where Mark also used to work. Like very similar taste to it.
So I
Chris's,
don't know.
Michael's. It's like a Clarksville pizza flavor like style, I feel like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to distract from Hunt Brothers and their generous sponsorship of the. Oh, we just lost Mark.
Oh.
Did you
Yeah,
say
because we were talking about other pizza.
Well, maybe
was
this
like,
is the
"I
time
gotta
to
get out
say
of
it
here."
while he's not here. Yeah, because he worked at Chris's. I think the best pizza I ever had, and I'm not a world traveler when it comes to. I mean, I've had pizza in Malawi, which is not as good as here.
Close to its ancestral home.
Pretty much, yeah. Those South African pizzas. But Chris's barbecue, like Hawaiian barbecue sauce, their ham, bacon, and pineapple. Just
There
love
he
it.
is. He's back.
Okay,
I don't know what happened.
So Hunt Brothers
It
is
just
my
stopped
favorite.
working.
Me too.
It was almost perfect timing when you got off, so it worked out good.
So our system we're using for this was telling me that I wasn't connected, but my computer was telling me that I was connected. So I was like, I don't know what's going on. So I'm not sure.
Mark, there's a huge stack of diaper boxes behind you.
Oh,
What's
yeah.
happening?
Poopocalypse.
So this is well, yeah. I think our daughter takes after me in that sense. So we've been through quite a few, but this is our
Too much
office. Yeah, this is our office / yard sale room. So most of those boxes are filled with stuff that it will eventually be in a yard sale whenever we have time to do that.
And those diapers will eventually be filled with stuff.
No, those are all already filled with stuff somewhere in a landfill.
So they're used diapers?
Well, the diapers are used. They're not in the boxes anymore, though. The boxes are filled with
Oh,
yard
that's good.
sale.
Appreciate you clarifying that.
That'd be
Yeah.
bad. So, Ryan, you had an interesting comment on the post that you shared on your page. Some guy said Dan's Pizza in Downers Grove, Illinois.
Yeah. So that is my
shout
wife's
out,
cousin. He is from Downers
Dan.
Grove, Illinois, and Dan's Pizza is his go-to.
Dan can make a mean pie. That's
Yep.
what I hear. So can Sam, apparently, because somebody on Instagram said Sam's Pizza, which we used to get all the time.
Ooh,
Me
yeah.
and Josh, Ryan, Grant. I think you got in on that maybe a few times as well. And we did the big Sam's trip and bought all the goodies for the youth room.
I
We'd stop
try to
and
tell
get
my wife
Sam's
all
slice.
the time, like, hey, we should go to Sam's and get some pizza for lunch. And she looks at me like I'm insane.
That's your idea of romance?
It is. I bring a candle,
Come on.
set it up on the
It'll be a
table.
special night.
And
good.
for our listeners who might not have a Sam's Club near them, you're talking Sam's Club, correct?
Correct.
Like a Costco type pizza. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do y'all not have Sam's up there?
Yeah,
In the
Sam's Club
Northwest?
University.
They're in. I actually started looking it up when you said that. There's none in Oregon or Washington. The nearest one is near Redding, California. That's not true. It's near San Francisco. We have Costco's everywhere, though.
It's the same thing, basically.
Pretty similar. Yeah. Yeah.
I think Costco pizza is like the exact same thing as Sam's.
Probably,
I've had
they probably
both.
get it from the same place.
But can you still call it the Pacific Northwest if you can't get Sam's Pizza?
Yeah, because we have Costco. That's the same thing.
That's true.
But you don't have Dan's Pizza. That's in Downers Grove, Illinois.
True.
It's true. That town just sounds sad. There's a famous Christian publishing company there, and every time for seminary or Bible college, when you're typing a reference in, it's like, man, that just sounds such a sad place to live. Downers Grove.
Dan's helps them turn that frown upside down.
Oh, yeah.
He's what keeps people in Downers Grove. Soon it'll be Uppers. Once they expand and have 2 locations, it'll be Uppers Grove.
Now, I did get a vote. It was texted to me all the way from listener in France that Papa John's is the best chain pizza. Now, this person is not French themselves, but they are in France. So, but they did inform me that the only things that are in France are actually Domino's and Pizza Hut, and they're both worse than they are in the U.S. So, take with that what you will.
We had a lot of votes for Papa John's and Domino's on social media sites. So we put it out on like 3 or 4 different sites. We had Domino's, Papa John's. There was a vote for Jets Pizza, which I don't know if that's a big change, but I know it's in Clarksville.
Yeah, there's one here.
Mellow Mushroom.
I'm sorry. There's a Jets here in Murfreesboro, and it's my favorite as far as like a chain like that. We don't get it very often, but as far as what's available here outside of Hunt Brothers Pizza, it's my favorite.
I'm a big fan of Detroit style deep dish, so
yes,
I like
I was
Jets.
gonna say, Caitlin, she's a huge fan of the Detroit style, so she's a big Jets fan as well. Not the New York Jets, though.
Are you allowed to say that?
That's good.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know
And
if you
also
had like,
not a jet that shoots down balloons or other UFOs.
Child's birthday balloons.
Mark, I didn't know if you had signed some sort of non-compete and you couldn't like talk about other companies' pizza in a positive light.
No, so our CEO is a big pizza fan. He always likes to try pizza from other places, and it's just kind of a thing. Like, we're not necessarily competing with like Domino's and Papa John's because most of the time they just can't go to the areas that we go. So,
Well, that's good.
So, what is like if you guys were to pick like the worst topping to put on a pizza, what would you guys say?
are we going just like the basic toppings, or including like everything that people have put on pizza?
And maybe at least something that somebody has tried or that's out there.
Something that's like a normal like topping that people regularly use that is the worst.
Well, for me, I do not like olives, so a pizza is instantly ruined with olives on it.
That's my favorite reindeer,
I
man.
love olives.
All of the
other reindeers.
The other reindeer.
I know a lot of people would probably say pineapple, but I actually enjoy pineapple on the right pizza. And not every pizza, but if it's a Hawaiian style, Canadian bacon type thing.
Get in my belly!
I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of pineapple on pizza.
I don't mind the pineapple on pizza, but I do have a problem with the name. I lived in Hawaii from 95 to 04, and I never once just sat around with friends putting pineapple on stuff. Be like, man, I'm so glad I live here. This is the best.
You guys, your claim to fame down there, spam. We don't want to hear anything about Hawaiian.
That's delicious.
Their contribution to food.
Spam
I'm
on
pretty
pizza
sure.
sounds like it'd be good.
I'm pretty sure Hawaiian pizza was invented in Canada.
It was, according to that Foo Fighters commercial for that whiskey company during the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, Dave Grohl.
Dave Grohl.
It makes sense because a prominent ingredient is Canadian bacon. So
I'm in the minority here.
You mean ham?
So I love pineapple. I don't like it on my pizza. That's got to be up there. But you know what is the worst? There's something worse to me than pineapple on pizza. When I was visiting Wales about 15 years ago.
Can I ask what species?
Can you ask what species of whales? Humpback.
Nice.
So when I was visiting Wales, good old Wales, Cardiff, I went to a Pizza Hut. It was a buffet, all you can eat. Was very excited, and the buffet literally had like 2 pizzas on it, and there was like 50 people in the restaurant. So as soon as they brought out a hot pizza, everybody rushed to the buffet, and you got like a little sliver, and so it really was not as advertised. But they put out this big pizza one time, and nobody was going up there, and I thought, this is perfect timing. I'm going to go and get like a load of pizza on my plate, and it's going to be all good. And the pizza had corn on it. Yeah, I cannot do corn on my pizza. Sorry, that's just disgusting.
Yeah, that's probably
nasty.
A line that needs to be drawn.
Yeah.
Well, kind of keeping an eye on the time here. We need to kind of make a transition because we want to have some time to get to our topic. But as you can tell, we are all pizza lovers. In fact, one of our very own here, Jay Tizzle, actually wrote a pizza ballad, and I think maybe we should share this with the listeners. So if you're on Spotify, you got to head over to YouTube to enjoy this.
Yeah, that's right. Free.
Wait, can you see it? Can you all see it?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Tickets to the Barnum and Bailey Circus featuring Kevin Jonas as ringmaster. Yeah, I know. He's the forgotten Jonas.
He is.
What? The Bieber?
Forgotten by his own brothers.
When was this done? What year?
Look,
I mean, it's been 10 years at least. 12.
Yeah.
Like
don't worry, we'll talk soon.
2010.
All right.
Yeah.
Bye-bye. So what's up, home nickel?
Well, man, looks good. Everything's set up. We're ready to roll.
Ryan's outfit.
Sweet. So all we
looks
need
almost
now
like
is
the
to
one
load
he's
the
wearing
coolers
now.
and we'll get ready for dinner.
All right, well,
Still has
good
that
deal.
same
What are
chair
we having for
demeanor.
food tonight?
Baby face.
Pizza.
Pizza? The Windows 95.
We always have pizza. What, did they teach a class in seminary about the theological benefits of melted cheese in a teenager's belly? Come on, man.
They should have.
I cannot believe what I'm hearing. No, they did not teach a class on pizza in seminary. But theological benefits of cheese? Oh, you bet your bottom dollar there are.
Are you kidding me? What does that even mean?
How can you sit there and dog on pizza? Pizza is a youth ministry staple since 1982. Without pizza, how could you ever expect teenagers to learn anything about Christ or the Bible?
I don't know, perhaps open up the Bible and start reading it? Maybe?
Okay, point conceded to you on that one. But nonetheless, pizza is a glorious thing.
tell I'm reading the script
It's the perfect
there.
mixture of joy, delectableness, and cheese all in one precious platter.
You really love pizza, don't you?
Yes, I do. In fact, Ryan, I've written a special love ballad about pizza that I would awkwardly like to share with you now.
Here we go again.
Ryan just has people awkwardly sharing things with him.
Ham, sausage, pepperoni.
Fountain with no water in it.
Give me more pizza than I've ever had. Fill it with grease, make my kidneys mad. You can tell me that it's healthy even though I know
There's that
it's not.
Top 5.
Men's Health Top 5.
Eat it cold for breakfast at the bachelor pad. Pizza, you're rad. I'm so glad I found you. I love being around you. And you're extra cheesy. You know how to please me. There's only one food I eat when I need a special treat. It's pizza. There's only one food with crust that I'll sniff and sing it a tune. It's pizza. I love that barbecue chicken from my homeboy Chris. Chicago has me begging for more deep dish. I've never met a pizza that I didn't like. You make me so happy when I'm feeling bad. This food I've had, I'm so glad I ate you. And that I don't hate you like nasty broccoli that smells like my sake. There's only one food I live when I need an Italian fix. It's pizza.
Mark in action.
There's only one food sauce I'll use to wash my hair. It's pizza.
Can't really see it there, but I really was washing my hair with tomato sauce.
I was going to ask. I've never noticed that, but it looked like there was actual tomato sauce.
Oh, yeah.
We love you, pizza. our special friend. Rendezvous to cold pizza in the mornings. You're such a big part of our lives, pizza. Thank you. And you're extra cheesy. You know how to please me. There's only one pie I rub on my face. It'll make
Ryan needs
Like,
to
a little too into that.
That's what Ryan was doing before the podcast.
There's only one thing to cook for my last meal. Nothing else will do.
It says Williams family on the bench.
It's pizza. It's pizza.
Oh yeah.
Barbecue sauce.
It's pizza. We love you. Woo!
That was something.
It's a classic.
Oh,
I would just like to point out those beautiful harmonies. Those were wonderful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can harmonize, especially when we got bellies full of pizza.
Oh yeah.
Now, Mark, that did bring up a question I've had. So people toss pizza when they're making pizza, right? But is there another point where it's not good to toss the pizza?
I guess it depends on the dough. Really, it's just as easy to kind of twist it on your knuckles is really where you hold it and just kind of pull it. But it looks more fun to toss it, and it is effective. It works.
And you toss it
Just don't do
before
that.
you
Yeah.
cook it, right?
Right.
I hope you're not on carpet right now.
No, I have Kramer underneath me, so we're good.
I was like, I think Kramer's got a snack.
I would say we would.
I want
have
you to eat the pizza now,
competitions.
Grant.
Yeah, you got to eat that off the floor.
We
If
would
he
have
eats that, he's going to be
competitions.
tossing it.
Sorry, Mark.
I'll get
You were
that
saying.
Oh, you're good. No, we would have competition. See who could get as close to the ceiling without touching it while tossing pizza dough.
Did anybody ever get it stuck to the ceiling?
I don't know about stuck to the ceiling, but the big hood over the oven, you get them stuck up there every now and then.
Oh, nice.
If it went a little haywire, you have to get a ladder and broom and try and get it down before
Man.
Chris slipped
I
up
know.
there.
Did you then serve it?
Depending on the customer. No, I'm just kidding. We didn't serve it.
Well, so I think the beginning of that video kind of brings up a unique point that Ryan's character seemed to wrestle with, and that was, what's the deal with youth ministry and pizza? And it is a staple. I mean, can it honor the Lord? Can a youth ministry without pizza honor the Lord? I don't think so. I mean, it's like manna, right?
I think it's just so easy. It's one of those things. The youth pastor has so many logistical things to plan out. It's like, what are we going to do for food? Well, yeah, let's do pizza. You know, planning any other type of meal is difficult. And it's also typically cheap. So it's too easy to order a bunch of pizzas.
Kids are notoriously very
throw 'em out.
picky. So I feel like pizza is usually the one thing that you can like get a couple different types of pizza and there's something that a kid will eat, you know. So it's always like really good for groups like that just because you don't have to put a lot of thought into it.
I just wonder how often we set kids up for failure, because as youth pastors, we're just trying to get them fed, but we have these events and we buy like cases of Mountain Dew and pizza and chips and like sugar. And we're like, here, eat all this. Now I want you to sit down and listen to a word about Jesus. And the kids are like, no, I'm ready to like hang on the walls and
It's
shoot
it's like
something.
Lord of the Flies in there.
The most trouble I ever got in as a youth pastor, pizza wasn't the primary target, but I definitely got yelled at over pizza. We had this kid in youth group. His mom works in DC half the year as a lobbyist for a group of organic farmers here in Washington. And her son was not allowed to eat junk of any kind, right? And I'm like, well, listen, that's between you and him. What I provide is what I provide. It's between you to tell him. It's on you to tell him, don't eat it. This kid would buy candy bars from other kids having fundraisers, and he'd eat them behind the church before mom picked them up. And this one time I played the game Roxanne, where you play the police song Roxanne, and every time they hear the word Roxanne, they have to eat a marshmallow. And every time they hear the word red, they have to take a drink of red soda.
That's a classic.
So at first they don't know the song, it's all fun, right? And then the chorus, Roxanne, red light, Roxanne. It's hilarious. And so she called me the next day, and I thought I was going to get in trouble over the song.
About, like prostitution, right?
I know.
Oh, is that where the story's going? Okay.
And that's what I thought I was going to get in trouble for, was the song selection. And this is how I learned what she did for a living. She was more upset that I served marshmallows, red soda, and pizza than she was over the song.
Bruh.
I know.
In fairness, the song is telling Roxanne that they don't have to do that.
Yeah, there's a better way, Roxanne. There's a better way.
Yeah, it's all about repentance.
Yeah, it's positive.
Yeah.
So I think with the amount of time left, because we're hitting 51 minutes, we probably can't do a deep dive. What if we part 2 conversation on youth ministry, into the next podcast, and maybe we just talk about some of the fun stuff here before we do that. So I'll never forget. Now this doesn't really have anything to do with pizza, but it does have to do with food. We were at camp one year, and it was at Hillmont, and so our church we're at, it would be a middle school camp, and all the high schoolers would staff it, which seems like a great idea on paper. But it comes with its own issues. But we had this one kid come, and he got worship was right after dinner, and I guess he just ate a bunch of food, and he got so worked up emotionally at the worship service that is at the altar call time, and all these kids were down there, and they were crying, and he gets so worked up that he runs outside, and one of our counselors, actually, I don't know if Scott Patterson, if he was high school at this point or not, but he runs out there and he grabs this kid's shoulders to try to get him to calm down and get him to focus. And as soon as he gets him turned and facing him, this dude just blows chunks all over Scott.
It's kind of like The Exorcist.
And his feet, and Scott's wearing flip-flops. And so it's all in it and everything. I'm like, man, that's why you go light on dinner on the emotional worship night at camp. But I guess it's a good thing he was wearing flip-flops, because I'd hate for that to happen to his nice tennis shoes.
Yeah, at least then you feel the rinse them off. You're good.
Yeah.
Well, we were talking about CC's earlier. I remember one of my first experiences as the youth pastor of Ryan's youth group in Texas. The youth group went to CC's after church, I think, one Wednesday night. And, you take youth to CC's, bad things can tend to happen. And so we had a couple of youth who decided that they were going to make a bet to see who could eat the most. And one particular guy just continued to eat, even though he was clearly full, and you could see it written all over his face. And the good news is he won the bet as far as eating the most pieces. The bad news is he walked out the door and blew chunks in the parking lot. So it's also the same kid that ate a bunch of it's also the same kid that ate a bunch of habanero peppers on a bet. And his mom called me the next day, and he had to miss school because he was sitting in the bathtub.
Oh yeah,
trying to cool off his
played football for the high school, and
anus.
The next day he did not show up at practice, and I was like, "Where are you at?" And he's like, "I'm in the bathtub."
So funny. I mean, what happened to make his mom say, "All right, no more. You're in the bathtub." What led to that?
I think I thought she was going to be mad at me, but the entire time she's like, "Well, that's what he deserves. He shouldn't have done it." And so she was pretty cool like that.
Oh, it didn't help that with the habaneros that there was a college guy that was giving him $20 a habanero.
Yeah. That's how these kids made money.
Incentive.
Yeah, that's a
What's
good
worse, I had a kid bring habaneros and Carolina Reapers to youth group, and without a bet, just said, "Hey guys, watch me."
Watch this. Just ate it.
Yeah,
Terrible.
crazy
Was
kid.
this before or after service?
This is like right before we started.
Gosh.
All
You
right.
just hear him screaming from the bathroom later.
I think it was Seinfeld that said, in eating competitions, you may have a winner in the first round, but in round 2, everyone loses.
That's true.
That's true. So we would order pizza every Wednesday night for youth before youth group, and we had a kitchen with like a little serving counter and everything. We'd have like the candy and all that, and pizza and Cokes, and so and it was always Little Caesars that we did
Usually.
I forget, but
I think we did Little Caesars and Papa John's for a while.
yeah, that's true. And a lot of it would get gone, but there was always like a pizza left. And so after youth worship, that was where we rendezvoused. All right.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And we'd eat up the rest of that pizza and drink Yoo-Hoos and Dr. Pepper. And I think I've said this before in one of the last couple of episodes, but I mean, I gained like 30 pounds during those 2 years.
What's funny is I remember looking forward to that so much. Like even in the final moments of worship, I was thinking about that pizza. And most of the time it was always there, but there were a few Wednesday nights where I'd go back there and it was like all gone. And I'm like, what the? I mean, come on. I wanted pizza.
It's the whole reason I'm here.
My favorite was the nights that we would have like multiple leftover pizzas, and like even after we'd eat a couple slices there in the back, there'd be some, and I would always take that back with me to my college dorm, because that was my payment as the unpaid intern, was leftover Little
You
Caesars
did get
pizza.
paid.
Yeah.
And then I paid for it.
Yep. The
So,
gift that
yeah,
keeps on giving.
we have at Hunt Brothers, like basically our version of the freshman 15. They like just so you know, we always have pizza in the fridge in the break room, and we have an oven, so you're probably going to gain a few pounds.
So it's similar to like being a youth pastor eating all that pizza.
Yeah, and it's a Christian-based company, so we're all about putting God first in all we do. I actually have it on the back of my shirt. Our values in the shape of a pizza slice.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
And that fits so well with the topic of youth ministry. I mean, it's like we should have a youth ministry philosophy of ministry in the shape of a slice of pizza. I mean, that would just make sense.
Yeah.
There you go.
And
Collaboration that's always been around, but we've never thought about.
Yeah.
Then they could teach that in the class at seminaries.
That's right. That's right.
It's so simple. How has this not been thought of before?
I don't know. A can of Mountain Dew to the side.
Ugh.
Of course, now it'd probably be energy drinks. Kids still drink Mountain Dew? I don't know. I'm out of touch.
Let us know in the comments.
What do kids drink?
They'll probably drink that new Prime energy drink from the YouTube creators. Mm-hmm.
That is very popular. Mm-hmm. One of my son Silas's friends, I think he has cans of them on his wall.
Oh my god!
Collects all the different kinds. So yeah,
I've never had it, but I'm pretty sure it's just like Gatorade with a different brand.
Probably. See, when I think of Prime, I think of Amazon. So that just tells you how old I am.
Well, I saw them at Kroger yesterday because I'm a big fan of the Celsius energy drinks, and
agreed.
They have a Prime energy drink that is basically, I guess, similar to Celsius. They try to make it similar, zero sugar added, a bunch of B vitamins, that kind of thing. So I don't know. I know the commercial during the Super Bowl showed the sports drink, but I haven't seen those yet. So
Ryan, you just drank something. Was that a Celsius?
No, it's Liquid Death mountain water.
Did you say malt liquor?
It does look like that, but no, it is 100%
So if that's
mountain
Liquid
spring
Death,
water.
Pizza is probably substantive death, right?
That's right. And you put those two together, and
That's right. Explosion.
it's a bad-
I'm a fan of this energy drink, coffee. So
Coffee. Yeah.
I like that coffee mug.
that's right. Try it. I'll eat it.
Well, we are coming up on our hour here. Man, it goes by fast.
It does.
We do want to again thank Hunt Brothers and Mark Tilden for the swag and for coming on. Mark, thanks for being a part of the podcast. I hope you don't get fired or anything.
I don't think I will.
Okay.
I don't think I shared anything that they won't be
Hey, and
thrilled about.
I want you to know I like the shirt so much I couldn't figure out which one to wear, so I'm like wearing them both.
Hey, there you go.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, me too. Oops.
And with that, it's time to quit.
You're supposed to leave the other shirt down when you do that.
Oh,
Well,
So
should've-
I think if we pick back up and really jump into a discussion on youth ministry next week, it might be fun if any of our listeners have just any stories or anything like that from their time, whether you were a student or maybe you're a student pastor, just any good stories of that time, funny, serious, whatever. Maybe we can incorporate some of those. So make sure to leave that in the comments. You can also email us at dudefactspodcast@gmail.com. If you're on Spotify, make sure to subscribe and share, and then roll over to YouTube, leave some comments. Again, subscribe and share there. And let's get the word out. Any final parting comments?
I would just double encourage people to share because so Josh and I were in the same youth group and then we were youth pastors together. And I think I have equally the amount of good stories from when we were youth in our youth group as to when we worked together. So yeah, we want to hear some of those stories, the good, the bad, the ugly, all the above. There's some good ones I know.
We might just need to do what we can to devote the majority of the next episode to those stories.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So share them. We'd love to hear them. Thanks again for joining us, Mark. We appreciate you being with us again.
Of course.
If you
Thanks
haven't
for
had
having
dinner
me.
yet, yeah, man. If you haven't had dinner yet, run out to your local gas station and grab you a Hunt Brothers. See you guys next time.